on Saturday?
I'm not concerned at all. For one, he's not going to be quarterback one. We know Joe Flacco is going to be the starting quarterback week 1 against the Bengals when they do play. So I'm really not worried about that. I really don't have any concern because now come Saturday when they do play, if I'm not mistaken, Dillon Gabriel, and I'm not sure if Kenny Pickett is playing, now they get an opportunity to show, what they can do. We've seen the small sample size of Shedeur Sanders with the ones for a short period of time, the 2s, the 3s, and the 4s. So we know what he can do. We saw how he played with the lights are on, with the pressure's on, and the bullets are flying for real. We haven't seen what Kenny Pickett could do as a Browns player. We haven't seen what Dillon Gabriel can do. So they deserve their opportunity to play when the lights are on and the game is somewhat meaningful as far as vying for a position on that team. As far as Shedeur goes, he showed what he can do. So him being injured, being able to take the time off and be ready for week 3, whichever preseason game that is, I'm all fine with that.
So you think he's shown enough? For me, I don't see how they keep 4 quarterbacks. Somebody's going to have to get released. It's really that simple. You're not keeping 4 quarterbacks because the positions are too valuable, and none of these guys play special teams. So with that being said, maybe Dillon Gabriel can hold, maybe Kenny Pickett can hold. I don't think Joe Flacco's ever held, at least not while he was in the league. I'm sure at some point in time, maybe in college he held or something like that. But it just, I don't know if he's done enough. People say, well, he's done enough. He's shown what he can do. Well, that's not what the depth chart said. The depth chart said he was still QB4.
Yeah, listen, I think politics plays a part in it. But obviously, when the opportunity presented itself for him to play, when Kenny Pickett and Dillon Gabriel were hurt, he rose to the occasion. He rose to the occasion and looked extremely sharp. Had some great plays, outside the pocket, in the pocket. It was calm, he was poised. And I'm sure anyone with common sense, a GM, a scout, can see the way he played and know this is a quarterback that deserves not just a chance to be on the team, but a chance to start, a chance to compete for the starting position. So now, with that being said, nobody on the other 31 teams watch Shedeur Sanders play that night and say, you know what, he deserves to be quarterback number 4. Nobody at all. So now, if they believe so much in Kenny Pickett and Dillon Gabriel to be quarterback 2 and 3, now they have their opportunity Saturday to prove why they should be.
I don't know if Pickett has practiced yet. Stefanski said, I think it was yesterday or day before, that he was still dealing with some tightness, so they wanted to be careful. They want to be cautious with it. I don't know how much Gabriel has practiced since his injury, but look, they got Snoop Huntley on the roster, and they brought him in last week. Once these other two, they realized that Gabriel had gotten nicked and Pickett had been out for an extended period of time. With all that being said, this is kind of my worst fear, because we talked about it last week, and I said I sure hope he can consolidate it. I hope that he can put back-to-back games together, Ocho. And now it's like he played really, really well in one game, and now he's nicked, and it looked like he's going to miss the second game, and then the third game. Obviously Flacco's probably not going to play, but I could have seen envision a scenario that they probably would have released Flacco and went with the other guys.
No, absolutely not. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen with your experience in the NFL. As long as you've not only played but been covering the NFL, they're not going to start with the young bucks.
They're trying to win, Ocho. You're not trying to win.
You say that you're not trying to win? Well, talk to me.
So you're trying to win. You go get Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett. Those are your choices, and you take Dillon Gabriel, and then you take Shedeur Sanders in the 7th round, 5th round.
Well, hold on. What other options did they have? Huh? They had no other options.
So there were no other quarterbacks available other than Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett.
Well, what quarterbacks were available that can actually put the Browns over the hump right now and compete in the AFC North?
Justin Fields available?
I think he was already going to New York, huh?
He wasn't going before free agency started.
Okay.
You knew James. You wasn't gonna bring. Okay, you wasn't gonna bring Jameis back. Okay.
Okay.
So you know that You don't wait till free agency start. You're starting this. You're looking at free agents, not only others, but your own free agents. And you're getting an idea. You're trying to put this puzzle together. Who we would be interested in, who might be interested in us. Who are we going to try to re-sign? Who are we okay with them moving on? So for me, when you got an 18-year vet, a guy that really hadn't shown you that he could, I mean, he'd been at 2 stops, Ocho.
Wait a minute. A guy that has shown you when Deshaun Watson got hurt, he came in and went on a 5-6 game winning streak for them until the bottom fell out.
So you know what you're getting with Joe Flacco, right? So you know the bottom's going to fall out, right?
I mean, at some point, and that's where your number 2 comes in play.
Thing, though.
That's where your comes in play. And once your number 2 comes in play, you stick with him. And that's who you ride with for the foreseeable future.
But there are things that even though Joe Flacco is playing well, he turns the ball over a lot. He turns the ball over a lot. Picks and fumbles. And that's what bites him. Pickett, I was never sold on Kenny Pickett.
Right.
Pittsburgh wasn't sold on Kenny Pickett. Didn't he go to he went to Philly last year? Where was he last year? Philly?
He wasn't Philly. I think he was the backup. Not the back. Maybe third string. I'm not sure. Or who was the second?
Well, McKee is the second now.
Okay. So Kenny might have been the second string.
Yeah, he went in when Hurts went out. But McKee, obviously they felt very comfortable keeping McKee. And he looked well in the duty and the role that he came in on Sunday last week. He looked really, really well. It's just hard for me to see a scenario, Ocho, is that they keep 4 quarterbacks and 2 rookies. Now you run the risk of if you release one of the rookies, somebody else sign them. Now, probably they're only going to sign if you sign them to your active roster. Because why would you want to go and try to learn a new system when you spent OTAs, you spent mini camps, you spent training camp learning this system? Why go somewhere else? Start behind. Unless they're going to put you on the active roster. Now, if they're going to put you on the 53-man active roster, well, I totally understand because there's a substantial difference in pay. But unless they're willing to do that, it doesn't make much sense for me for you to go to one practice squad to the other practice squad. Or if they release you, now it's, you get to decide, well, we really would like to sign you back. Do you go back with a system that you're familiar with, Ocho, or do you move on and try to learn a new system and say, well, I think over there might be better situated for me, or I might be better suited to be in that situation over there as opposed to currently here. What's your take? What do you think about that?
I can see how it plays out. I'm telling you, I can see it. I can see it. Listen, I'm not in the Browns organization. I'm not there in the locker room. I'm not there on the practice field. But from what I know about the game, from the outside looking in and just being around the game in general, I know exactly how it's going to play out. Based on what Shedeur did in the first preseason game, to be able to come out and do that with the limited amount of snaps that he was able to play. Joe Flacco is back, and they brought him back simply because he knows the offense, he knows the system, and we know what we get from him if he's in there. At some point, things are going to go disarray. The bottom's going to fall out at some point. Who's going to be our number 2 quarterback that's going to be able to step up and take things on from that point for the foreseeable future for our franchise?
Jalen Hurts gave Shedeur Sanders a ride on the golf cart after Sanders injured his oblique during practice. He spoke on his conversation with Shedeur, saying, he came to me and wanted to talk. I'm always there of giving my perspective on what I see and how I've gone about things. I'm supporting him from where I am and wish him nothing but the best. And I get it. Jalen, the maturity that he displays, you would think the guy's been in the league 10, 12 years, and he's only been in the league, about 6 years himself. But the way he goes about his business, the way he handles his business, the way his perspective on a lot of things. He doesn't get too high. He doesn't get too low. He's very even keel. Guys rally around him. He comes off as very authentic. I believe he's very authentic. Heard Lane Johnson talking about him. He's the same day one as he is right now. He's just gotten more efficient and better at what he's doing. But he's still the same guy. Nothing about him has changed or deviated from when he walked into this locker room as the second-round draft pick. And that's what you can appreciate. Circumstances has not changed this young man. Super Bowl MVP, this, that, the talk. Philly is a very tough place, a very tough town to play in. But he doesn't let that bother him. Everybody can't play in places like Philly. It'll crush a lot of people. But he's built for it. He has very thick skin. He has very small ears, so he doesn't hear the noise. And stuff that people would normally say or that would be impactful to a player, it bounces off him.
Right.
So that's what makes him really, really good at what he does. Because the same thing with Eli is that they try to beat him up in New York. He's like, I don't even hear the A. Eli was like, damn, Eli, you alive? Yeah, I'm alive. I just don't hear y'all bullshit. What y'all saying is dead to me. I'm alive and well. It's just what you're saying is dead to me. But I like the fact it's like, look, all I can do is offer my perspective from where I am. I'm the starting quarterback of Philly. I hear what you guys hear. I got an opportunity to hear his perspective because he's actually in it. And I'm saying, you know, and maybe he shared when I was in a situation when I got here, they had just given a guy one of the second richest contracts in NFL history. But I was undeterred. I was like, I'm going to take care of what Jayden can take care of. I can't concern myself with what they just paid him. I can't concern myself that he was on the way to winning the MVP before he got hurt week 13, week 14. That don't have anything to do with me. Let me control what I can control. Let me do what I can do, and then the chips will fall where they're made. But when I get my opportunity,
that's exactly where I was going with it. Now, obviously, Jayden's opportunity didn't come until they were already in season. Well, hell, preseason matters most because right now you're trying to earn a roster spot. They got fourth on the depth chart, not give you the adequate reps that you need, especially with the ones or the twos. Two players get hurt. The opportunity presented itself. When the opportunity presented itself, how did he look?
No, he looked good. He looked really well. He looked good. Looked very good.
Looked really well. He looked really well in command of the offense, in command of the players. He looked like a leader. Looked like he's been doing it for 5 or 6 years.
He looked very poised.
That's what he looked like. So again, now it's a quarterback competition. His oblique is hurt. Next man up. Now it's Dillon Gabriel's turn. If I'm not mistaken, if Kenny Pickett's not playing, Joe Flacco's not playing the second game. Now Dillon Gabriel gets to play most of the goddamn game until Snoop Huntley comes in the fourth quarter, similar to what they did last Friday.
True.
Now, we will see. Because Kenny Pickett not getting snaps now, but we still know what we got from Kenny Pickett when he was in Philly. We know what we got from Kenny Pickett when he was in Pittsburgh.
It's hard to evaluate when he was in Pittsburgh and Philly because he didn't really get a whole lot of playing time. He was a backup, but we did see a large sample size of him when he was in Pittsburgh.
Okay, and listen, no disrespect to him. And in a 3-year span, is all of a sudden now going to be the year that something has changed miraculously?
Well, see, the Cleveland thought so because that's why they signed him in free agency.
Well, you know, quarterbacks are going to always get opportunities, Dunk. You know that. They're going to always get opportunities over and over and over and over. Either as a 2, as a 3, or sometimes a 4. Not very many teams carry a fourth quarterback, but they will always get an opportunity.
Yeah, man. I mean, it seems like he can't catch a break. I mean,
yeah. I mean, do you know how many Tim Couch, Detmer, Wynn, Peterson, Holcomb, Garcia, McCown, Dilfer, Fry, Anderson, Dorsey, Quinn, Manziel, Hoyer, Whedon, Wallace, Hogan, Taylor, Mayfield, it continues on and on and on and on. So how they can just be so proud about, well, this individual looked a certain way in preseason, but we still want to keep him fourth on the depth chart. Anyone that even